welcome back to another typing video. John Bodine here with Redemptive Psych, and today we're going to take a look at the soccer player or football player. I think you pronounce his name Erling Haaland. He's a pretty young guy, very talented player. I haven't watched soccer a lot, but I've seen some of his highlights along with some of the other big names in the sport. And he apparently has kind of a pretty big following in his media and YouTube, on social media. And again, I have some clips that I've pulled, a couple interviews and some shorts. I've seen a little bit of a couple of them, but I would say less than 10%. I've seen less than 10% of the footage that we'll dig into, but I want to be transparent about things I have seen. So like usual, I'm going to react to his interviews and what he says in real time, and offer analysis about his personality and try and figure out what type he is. So we'll start with the first one here and go from there. Okay, this one is from his own channel, A Day in the Life of a Pro Footballer. So we'll watch a few minutes of this.
It's been a lovely day, doing a lot of good things for my body and what I normally do in a life. Morning, guys. Come on in. Come on. You want a brew? You want, I can make you one. Coffee is a superfood in my eyes, if you do it right. Why? Depends on the quality, when you drink it, and of course how. So yeah, I'm into my coffee. You need a little bit of this in, milk. Superfood as well, I think. It's good for us, it's good for our stomach, it's good for our skin, it's good for our bones and muscles. That's why I drink it. Here you go. Try, see if you like it. This is how I drink it. With milk, maple syrup to protect the caffeine with fat and sugar. Enjoy. I think a lot of things is logical. You should have an early start with fresh daylight and fresh air.
So I'm having a hard time listening to what he says. His face is really interesting. It's like all that I can think about. Right now he has such an interesting face. His eyes they seem kind of deep and have a sensitivity to them. So it's interesting because visually he almost looks like an INJ, which I'd be surprised if he was an INJ, but that's just my visual impression so far.
Ideally go out for a small walk, I think is a really beneficial thing to do. And this is a logical thing. And yeah, I like to read about things, I like to try out things. Why not? You know, for my life and also my career, why not try to optimize some easy small things as much as I can?
So that's a little bit of progression, a little bit of movement. Trying this, trying that, reading things. It sounds like he likes to stay active, not just with his body, but with his mind. Trying out things with that kind of experimental mindset, at least in the way that he's communicating it, tilts towards progression.
We have some eggs, and I think I just got delivered bread now. Perfect timing. Yeah. Sourdough. So Isabel, you need to ask her if she thinks I'm a good chef. If you ask me, definitely. I've been living alone since I was 16, so I have to cook. Living alone in Norway first, up in Molde. My father was with me for 2 days, and then he bought in all the cleaning, to clean things. He bought in a little bit of food, and yeah, I'm leaving tomorrow, see ya. So then I was all alone, I had to clean my own clothes, which I'd never done before.
Okay, so notice right there, as he's talking about his own past, his own story, he's talking about it in reference to other people, to his father's perspective, what his father did, what his father, his father took him, and then went out and got some stuff, his father left. That is extroverted sensing. That's how extroverted sensors tell a story. They tell it primarily in reference to other people. Now, yes, any users may include some perspective here, but just looking at this, it's a little bit of extroverted sensing.
And I had to cook my own food and clean my own apartment, which was interesting, but again, that's when you learn, you just get thrown into it. I think it was a good thing. and I learned so much living alone. Just doing the simplest way of cooking eggs. Simple breakfast, little bit pepper. With food I like to take my time. Now it's too cold to eat outside, but one of my favorite things in the summer is to eat outside. So I can't do that, but no, just sit there, nothing special. Perfect. No one can do it better than this. So good.
Okay, so that is no one can do it better than this. That is like the second or third time he's referenced his own cooking skills, his own cooking chops. So it's an FI statement. Doesn't mean they have to be an FI user. It could be FI critic, maybe FI demon. Like every once in a while I hear like ISTPs say stuff like that. But the statement itself is the FI statement. And because he said it a couple times now, or some version of it, that is a kind of a point for introverted feeling.
Sunny side up.
Huh?
Sunny side up. That was unbelievable. Isabel wakes up early because of the baby. He wakes up not when the alarm goes off, he wakes up when he wants. Come on. It's not the food question. What was the question again?
And how did you meet?
She played for Bryne, our hometown clubs. Good footballer.
Tell us a little bit about your footballer.
Thank you.
Come on, left winger.
Yeah, left-footed. I would say I did have some power in this left foot also.
Ryan Giggs, left wing, swinging them in.
To be honest, I wasn't the best with like dribbling and stuff. I was more with speed. I was running, so I would say it's very similar like him. I don't think you're the best dribbler.
No.
You have the speed.
Thank you.
And you have the strength. I miss it a lot.
She played football. We met and all of that. Nice, because you understand football. She remembers many times that she's been seeing me when we were younger, but I don't. But also, you remember the music video? I have a music video on YouTube. Where I sing with my friends, and this was a thing.
I only knew your best friend, so he was the one I did like first. And then when I saw you, I changed my view to you. And then you had a very nice song. I do think it's fate, but you don't. I asked you this question before. I asked, like, I think this is fate for us to meet, and you was just like, you think?
All right, flat ass. All right, Mario. This is the Italian I call him.
Only because I make you suffer.
He lives close there as well, which is also good. Mario treats me. Yeah. Breakfast done.
Come on.
Come on. What? Huh? Voila. This is the gym where we do a bit of treatment and where we train a little bit.
Now I know Erling since joined the team. We started really nice work.
Okay, we're gonna stop that one there, and we'll go to the next one. There's not a lot that I see other than the couple things I mentioned. So far, he seems more of a responding person. He, was interacting well with his girlfriend or wife, whoever his lady is. But it struck me more as a responding kind of conversation. He's sort of responding to her and maybe making some side comments. He seems pretty comfortable, which I want to see him in a different environment first, because he could be an INJ, which is like, it's hard to tell if he's direct or informative yet. He's kind of playful, and playfulness looks informative, but it's not necessarily the case. So let's keep going. I have a different video here. Let's check this one out.
What they should know about Norway? First of all, me, of course, Erling Haaland.
Okay, me, of course, Erling Haaland. So, again, that's another FI statement. Is this an INT? TJ? Maybe an ISFP. I don't know. He seems SCFI. That's again another FI statement. And it doesn't seem bashful about calling attention to himself. So more FI.
Erling Haaland is a 6'4" Norwegian goal-scoring machine. The Manchester City striker holds the record for the most ever goals scored during an English Premier League season. He's only 25, and he's already scored more than 300 goals in his professional and national team career.
Goes into the back of the net.
Haaland has become the face of his sport, with fans traveling from around the world to see him play.
I'm so excited to meet you.
Yeah?
In June, Haaland traveled to the States with Manchester City to compete in the FIFA Club World Cup. And time caught up with him between games in sunny Boca Raton, Florida for this week's cover story.
The sun been aggressive towards me, but no, I enjoy it. I love the sun. Just need to be careful because my skin is a bit vulnerable in these temperatures. I think people think I'm like a bit like this, but I'm really calm. You know, I'm just want to have a good time. That's really what I want to do. I want to smile, I want to enjoy. On the pitch is how you should be on the pitch, and then off the pitch you're completely different. So off the pitch is a calm guy that just want to have fun, enjoy my life, and on the pitch want to attack like a Viking.
When you've got the striking Viking.
Attack like a Viking. The TE statement. This is how people think I am. This is how I actually am. TEFI. This is how I actually am. Let me show you my own self-perception with my FI. I have seen some TI users say things similar to that, but far more likely is going to be a TE user, FI user, especially using that language. This is how people perceive me. That's partly TE. This is how I am, FI. I want to attack like Viking. Okay, so his, the way he comes across so far is this very chill, laid back, kind of surfer guy, playful, kind of what some people think of when they think of an ISFP or an ESFP. Very chill to be around, fun, in the moment. He's certainly giving off some of that energy. What he just described right there is kind of an intellectualization or conceptualization of himself and the different roles that he fills as he's on the field in game mode versus off. That is a little bit of abstraction, also mixed with how he's talking about how people perceive him. That is a little bit of abstraction as well. Let's keep going.
King, you've got a guarantee of goals.
First of all, obviously the history is incredible. Of course, a lot of things were not good what they did. Obviously, let's be honest. But
TEFI, okay, talking about the history. These are the facts. Personal evaluation, most likely. FI, a lot of the things that they did were not good. Yes, it could be an FE statement of like, well, society doesn't think those things are good. I don't think it's coming from that angle. I think it's the other angle. He knows some of the history. He's talking about the history. It seems like he's offering his own evaluation of like, well, obviously because of these facts, it's not good what they did. A little bit more SE there as well. But that's a TEFI statement.
I like the mentality kind of thing that I don't care about anything. We're just going to go there and get our job done, you know. Also that they were stronger and better than everyone, literally.
Okay, wow. More TE. The mindset, some NI, they just got it done. He's relating to the power of NI, taking on the mindset of being the Viking, right? Being the attacker. And some more evaluation, they were better than everyone else, FI, and some more SE, and we're seeing some abstraction. And it looks like this guy is an FI-NI user, which is interesting. Very interesting. Okay, let's keep going.
That's what I love, and also the togetherness as well. I think they had like an incredible bonding between each other when they were sailing across the whole world and everything. So the Vikings are inspiring, of course.
Okay, so people would look at that as an affiliative statement, the togetherness, etc. And yes, that statement in of itself is more cooperative based. He's admiring the unity of them. But it could also be a strategic thing where part of their strength was their unity. He could be viewing it like that. But that statement in of itself, you know, looks like an affiliative statement, possibly an FE statement.
I played it since I was really young, so for me, not a dream come true, because I didn't dream of getting on Clash of Clans when I was young, you know, but to play a game when you're young and also when you're older, and then be able to work together with them and then getting on the game is for me, really special.
Really special, FI. Notice the way he described himself in the past. He doesn't say I, he says, you know, like when you're young, when you're young. He's not placing himself into the past, okay? He's using a second person to describe something past experience. This is how low SI users, like SE inferiors, SI demons, this is how they often talk about themselves in the past. They make it second person or third person. I do that a lot too, actually, kind of unconsciously. So that is another point for extrovert sensing. And some more FI saying that it was very special.
He never pushed me to anything, but he early knew that I wanted to become good at football, and I said it a long time, hopefully one day I'll become better than you. I told him many times, and yeah, that's also something that's been kind of a motivation for me ever since I was young, you know, to live from football and to become better than him. I love celebrating, first of all. What does everybody want to do? What does everybody try? They try to score goals. I remember when I scored one goal, it was such a good feeling in me that I was like, oh, I want to do this. I want to become an expert on this. Just score as many goals as possible to get this feeling again and again.
Okay, there's a lot there. I want to do this because I got this feeling, and looking forward, I want to keep doing it and score as many goals as possible. FI, NI, okay? And then right before that, he's talking about goals. He's like, well, what do other people do? They score goals. SE. What do I want to do? I want to score goals like them. It's SE, NI, and some more FE, more FI there too, okay? I wanted to do this because I saw other people doing it. Then when I did it, I felt how good it felt. And then I was like, that's all I want to do now is score goals, okay? That is the synergy of an NI-FI user working together with the SE, with the T, with the TE. And also, I don't want to project too much here, but I am sensing that an unspoken piece here is the status of being a scorer in soccer, an extremely difficult sport to score in. Finding a way to have a reputation as a scorer is, I mean, that's where the admiration is from other people. Okay, we'll finish this up.
What did you know about Norway? First of all, me, of course. Erling Haaland. It's important. Important thing, of course. No, but a small country which has achieved great things. We are really...
Okay, I'm just going to jump in here with the same comment he made. Like, everyone should know about me. It's important, of course. ISFPs, like with FI Hero, are much less likely to say that. That's more like, that's a childish statement from, I think, from an FI child about, hey, look at me, I'm so important. And like, he's not exactly wrong in the context of what's well known, who's well known, and he doesn't seem to have any problem reminding you of that.
Like an athlete country, really, if it comes from skiing, running, football, handball, golf, tennis. There's a lot of sports that we're good at. mean everything. You know, this is what I've been trying to do now for ever since I came to the national team 6 years ago. So it's a dream, and I've said it many times before, I'll do everything I can to make it happen. I expect to play in the World Cup in my career, and hopefully it will be next year.
It's a dream I have. I'll do everything I can to make it happen. That's that's some abstraction. Also some direct. Wow. That's crazy if this guy's an INTJ. I think we're looking at an INTJ, guys. Very interesting. Not a lot of INTJ athletes out there. Not at this caliber, not this stage of athlete. If he was an ISFP, I think he'd be a little more humble with his evaluation at FI, because they're afraid of other people think about them. NI heroes idolize the strong. They idolize the ones who have extreme ability. They idolize that specific attribute of being so good at something specific. And once they get there, especially the INTJ, they'll be, you know, they'll have a not so humble demeanor about it often, because that's what they've dreamed about. That's what they value so much. It's this idealization of, in this case, being someone who can be the ultimate scorer. So let's check out a short or two and go from there.
What was it for you when you weren't scoring in the short time that it was?
Yeah, it's of course shit.
And tell us, how important was it to be second now, to secure the second place in the table?
Yeah, first of all, it's of course that Bayern won, but that's how it is now. First half was good, but second half was shit, so we were a bit lucky.
After the final whistle, you and the whole teammates, you were going to the south stand, the famous yellow wall, which was empty today, of course. Why did you do that?
Why not? I missed, and then he cheated, so then I took it again, and then I scored when he didn't cheat, so yeah. What?
Why did you choose Dortmund and not Manchester United?
Yeah, that's a funny question.
Tonight you became the youngest player in UEFA Champions League history to score a first-half hat-trick. How are you feeling right now?
I feel very good.
Anything else?
You ask.
How was it for you when...
He's very funny. He has a great sense of comedic opportunity. That entire collage of clips was him being very, very, very direct, straight to the point. I don't have anything more to say. To be fair, if you went and searched out any person who's famous, you could assemble a collage exemplifying just one vector. I get that, but I don't think this collage was done with that intention, and all of his responses were very to the point and responding and direct. Yeah, okay, let's do one more here.
Do your best Australian accent.
No. You can do it. Australia. Australia.
Australia, mate. Good day, pal. It's all right, no? Good day, mate. There's a kangaroo over there.
No, that's American.
No, you just changed that.
On to the next one. It's too easy.
Okay, just a little detail there. He doesn't want to do it, I think, because he's nervous to do it, a little embarrassed to do it. Then he tries to do it, and he looks down, because my interpretation, he's trying to avoid the judgment of feeling like SC inferiors do this a lot, where if they're embarrassed to do something and they do it anyway, they often will not confront the situation with their eyes. They'll often look down. I know that's just a passive thing, but I do notice that I think that there's a pattern there if you look at all the SC inferiors. So, wow. So I knew going in visually, he actually, I feel like him and I have a similar facial structure. He also looks like some other INJs that I know, particularly two INTJs that I know, which is interesting. I was trying to put that aside and just look at his communication, but his communication came right back around to that. So, okay, again, his demeanor, he has this, at least when he's comfortable, he has this like chill surfer boy kind of SFP demeanor. In interviews, he's a little less comfortable, it looks like. but we see some abstraction, we see some direct, lots of FI, lots of NI. FI to an extent that feels childish, and I don't mean that in an insulting way. I mean that in a function way, FI child. Again, if you find an FI hero who's going to brag like that, unlikely to happen, because the INTJs brag when they have become the ideal that they have sought out, because to them, this is a great thing. I can do all these things that I dream to do. Why shouldn't I brag about it? That's part of their perspective. It's an inner confidence because they've reached the ability and the skill that they've looked for. When he references his past, he does it in an extroverted sensing way, not talking about I, but about you, or we did this, or this happened, an externalization of the past. INJs have a very, very hard time referencing themselves directly in the past. They really hate doing it. It's very draining for them. Again, he's very playful. This is very interesting, and it was cool seeing him in his home environment. He's funny, he's playful. If I believe he's an INTJ, I believe he's developed into his SE and FI, making him come across more SFP-ish. If he was developed downwards into his NI and T, into his NE, nemesis, and TI, critic, he would be probably less comedic, a little more engineer, inventive mindset, systematic approach to his craft. But no, he has this playful demeanor. He talks about the Vikings. I think that little sequence there was very, very important. The history of it, this is obviously my evaluation of it, is that what they did wasn't good, but he admires the tenacity, the total destruction of what they had. That's something NI heroes aspire to, total domination in their craft. So yeah, wow, I think it looks like Erling Haaland is a INTJ, guys. SEFI developed, making him more, developed more into his extroverted sensing, introverted feeling, developed more into, you might say, an SFP side, which is why I think he's been mistyped. And it makes sense because development can stretch us, right? It can make us look like something else, but when you dig deeper, we see the FI, the NI, we see the directness, we see the abstraction, we see him pursuing the ideal. We see this probably FI child not being bashful at all about his reputation, his status, which obviously he has in droves. So anyway, guys, looks like Haaland, however you say his name, looks like Erling Haaland is an INTJ. Hope you guys enjoyed, hope you guys learned something and got something out of it. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next time. Bye.